Hello everyone, Shamancini here. Today I'm making a review video. I don't normally do review videos, but someone asked me what is a good operating system or Linux distribution I can recommend to someone who's not using Linux and they're a Windows user to get them into a Linux game. So I've heard about Linux Mint and how it's very user friendly and stuff. I haven't really used it on a daily basis. Um, so I decided to give it a whirl, and I'm starting to. I'll just give some of my opinions on the differences between Linux Mint and Ubuntu. So the first thing I'll mention is the flow of the operating system. So in Ubuntu, and you've seen this if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a Ubuntu and Debian guy. So for Ubuntu, if I wasn't a if I was just a Windows user, never seen Linux before, I'd get lost right away. So think of it, right? If you're using Windows, you're used to start, programs, accessories, stuff like that. Now, with Windows 8 and stuff, they have the Metro dashboard and all that stuff, but everyone's sour over that, so they've gone back to the start menu. So this is kind of relevant. Now, being a Ubuntu user for a very long time, I know my quote unquote start menus here. And then I can search for whatever apps I want, like Word. Okay. Now, as a beginner, that might be intimidating, having to not have any flow. Even if you click like loosely, if you click applications, it's not as streamlined as Microsoft, right? And so Mint does a good job at keeping that flow. So they've obviously renamed start to menu, so you click menu, and we have that flow that everyone recognizes: accessories, internet, stuff like that. So just picture this, right? You've installed Mint on your uncle or aunt's computer, and you want to teach them, okay, how to get to the internet. So pretend Firefox isn't on the dock, okay? So in Ubuntu, okay, dash. Now you got to search for Firefox. Open. Okay. Now in Mint, you click menu, internet, Firefox. Now the difference doesn't seem like a lot, and you may argue, well, they're both kind of easy enough, or I can put the icon on the dock here, but the flow is still familiar for someone who was a Windows user. So hitting menu, internet, and Firefox, that is easier to remember because that's what someone's used to. And so that, in my opinion, is one up for Mint. Another thing too is that they have a lot of the similar wordings that Microsoft uses. Like for instance, things are categorized like internet, accessories, and they've actually done a little bit of a good job with like hitting accessories and calculator. I don't know if you noticed, but in Windows, the calculator in the start menu flow is located in calculator. Accessories. So, this is about as user friendly as you're gonna get for Linux desktop distribution. Now, a couple things to remember: this is still Linux, right? It's just a nicer way that it's being painted on the screen. So some things may or may not work for a certain application. You're not going to recommend Linux to your gamer cousin who gets viruses on their computer all the time, because their games won't work and they won't want to be on Linux. But if your aunt or uncle or father or mom surfs the web and checks some emails every once in a while, there's really no reason you can't switch them over to something like Linux Mint, who does a really good job of making it easy. Now, for the non-beginner and someone who's been in the field or who's been in the Linux game, there's one argument I've heard about people wanting to jump ship from Ubuntu and going to things like Linux Mint or back to Debian and stuff like that. And that's when Canonical, who sponsors Ubuntu, released, I believe it was, when they released Unity, the new desktop IDE, not IDE, not programming, GUI. When they replaced the desktop GUI, they had, they made Unity, and a lot of people noticed they weren't happy about this. But when you search things like, Amazon in your search bar, searching for files that are Amazon, people started noticing, hey, what the? I'm starting to get advertisements from Amazon. Well, I guess Canonical did some sort of sponsorship or some sort of agreement with Amazon that when you search things in Amazon, or search things in your start menu, if there's nothing found on your computer, sometimes you get advertisements. Now, definitely I can see a lot of people's concern with the privacy, because this indicates that when I search Amazon, the search menu is looking through my computer, and when it finds nothing, sending this data to Amazon or to some ad server, whatever they're sending it to, and coming back with ads. Now, there are ways to stop this behavior in the privacy settings and stuff like that, because Canonical realized a lot of people were pissed off that this happened, and has gone back and made some changes. But unfortunately, some people they lose trust when something like this happens, and they don't want to go back. Now, this is another one up for Mint, because they don't have this behavior. If I search Amazon, nothing. I get nothing, right? And so that is one plus I do give Mint for even the technical user. And now technical users, anything that runs on Ubuntu and Debian runs on Mint. Why? Because Mint is based on Ubuntu based on Debian, and it's a fork of a fork of a fork. You can even jump over if you wish to. I do notice a bit of a speed difference. Mint seemed to be a bit faster, however, not something to write home about. So hope my opinion helped in reviewing Linux Mint and the differences between Mint and Ubuntu. If you have any questions about this, leave the questions in the comment section below. You can also email me, seanmancini2010@gmail.com, and you can visit my website, seanmancini2010. You can visit my website, seanmancini.com. Thanks for watching.